What's up guys, Sean here, and I just wanted to show you guys what I'm carrying for Wharncliffe Wednesday, and that is the OG of the Spyderco Wharncliffes, the Yojimbo 2, and this is modified by me. This is the DLT Trading exclusive Yojimbo 2 in CPM 20 CV blade steel. We have a nice belt sand finish on this blade, and it has the profile modified by me to make it more of a traditional Wharncliffe blade shape. I also have this knife customized with Damascus carbon fiber scales from knivesplus.com and a titanium deep carry clip from Lynch Northwest. This combination is excellent. This guy has a very strong detent, kind of on the side of a little bit too strong, and I like my detents really strong and snappy, but this one is a little bit tough to deploy, especially combined with the sharper edges of the Spidey hole, but it works. This knife is an amazing cutter, and I'm also carrying a couple other knives. Right here I have the Spyderco Endura, also a DLT Trading exclusive. This is also in 20 CV blade steel, but this one is manufactured at the Spyderco Seki City, Japan factory, and they do some really amazing heat treats. They do you know, the lightweight series like the Delica, the Endura, Police, goodness, there's a bunch, Dragonfly, Ladybug, Manbug, all those good knives. Any of them that have the FRN handle and are a backlock like this, they are all the Seki City Japan models. These are actually really nice knives. I really like the grip, the bidirectional texturing on the scales. These do have liners inside, steel liners. I believe they are milled. Yeah, milled. So super lightweight. You get a lot of blade. I mean, this is about the same amount of blade as a PM2 at a fraction of the weight. So good ergonomics. Nice thin slicey blade. It is thinner at the spine and thinner behind the edge than your paramilitary 2. Very, very slicey. And the reason that the Yojimbo 2 cuts so well is because it has a really nice deep hollow grind. See if you can see how that blade grind curves in towards the blade stock, so it swoops in. That's what a hollow grind is. So comes down super thin behind the edge, has a decent amount of distance to taper down, and this thing really just has no problem whatsoever initiating the cut into material because it's so freaking thin, and it just wants to go and go and go. So love that. And I wanted a little pop of color in my carry today. It's been doom and gloom here past couple days, rainy, foggy, all that. So I'm carrying two Hogues, little pop of color. Have the mini RSK. This is another one that I normally would not have picked up for myself. I got it in a trade and I found that I really liked it. Also, this Endura was gotten in the same trade. So these are two knives that I probably wouldn't have bought, but I'm really glad that I got them because I found that I really like these. This mini RSK feels really good in hand, has nice contours to the G10 scales, has nice texturing, so you get really good grip. It's essentially the same thing as like a Benchmade mini grip Tillion, but it is Hogue's version, and yeah, made in the USA, 20 CV blade steel. Really tough little grade EDC knife. Nice and lightweight, but it is still robust enough that it is nice and tough, but it will do all your cutting needs well. You know, it'll cut well, and it's just a tough, ergonomic, lightweight, great little knife. And they come from the factory with a very nice deep carry clip. I love these Hogue clips. Here's another knife from Hogue. This is the Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive Scorpion edition of the Hogue Deca in Magna Cut blade steel. We have some yellow marbled carbon fiber, or it's actually kind of like gold. A little bit of a gold marble pattern in there. Very, very cool looking. Very similar to like the Arctic Storm fat carbon, except replace the blue with gold. So yeah, you know, this one, I got this because of the Deca that Denise sent to me. She sent me the basic, you know, standard entry level Deca with the polymer handle and the Wharncliffe blade in Magna Cut, and I really love that. It actually had much better action. It feels a little bit better in hand. You know, I really honestly, there was a lot of things about that I liked a lot that I did not experience with this one. And this is like their, you know, one of their fancier upgraded versions. So that was a little bit of a disappointment, but nonetheless, it's still a great knife. Also Wharncliffe blade on this, but this is a modified compound grind Wharncliffe. Very thin blade stock, nice and thin behind the edge. This is sharpened at like 15 degrees per side. Super slicey, which is necessary when you're talking a really tiny knife like this. You don't have a lot of leverage, a lot of grip. I mean, I get a full 4-finger grip on here, but you still don't have the same amount of leverage as you would if you had a longer handle. And having a nice thin slicey blade really helps assist the effortless cutting through, you know, harsh materials and abrasive materials like really thick, nasty cardboard. So yeah, there's this one. I might consider selling this one, not sure yet. Originally I was not thinking about selling it, but I need to free up some funds because there's a lot of knives that I've been seeing pop up that I want to try out, and I just don't have the money for it. So yeah, some of my knives that I wasn't considering getting rid of before are probably going to be hitting the chopping block. So that's it for what I'm carrying, but I also have 2 other knives with me today, and that is 2 that I just finished up sharpening. This one right here is the SOCOM Elite clip point. This thing came out magnificent, extremely sharp. The owner wanted me to lay the edge back. I did a 17 degree per side. Well, it's closer to 18 at the tip and 15 at the heel. And that is because I was trying to get the edge bevel a little bit more even looking. But due to the blade grind of this and how thin it gets behind the edge down at the heel, even with a 2 degree difference at the heel versus the tip, you still see a pretty dramatic difference in the thickness behind, or the, not the thickness, the size of the bevel behind the edge. But that's all right. It still looks really good. And if you look up the pictures of these from the factory, that is exactly how they come because of the blade geometry. It's just the way it is. It is not a defect or poor sharpening on my part. If anything, this is probably the best that you're going to get one of these to look. And I think it came out damn good. This one sharpened up great, came out super sharp. We have M390 blade steel on this, and all of the M390 that I've sharpened from Microtech has came out wicked sharp. You know, you can feel the edge as you're going through the progression, and be able to tell what companies really nailed their heat treat, and you know what blade steels are going to take that really nasty sharp edge, because you'll feel it really sticky sharp throughout the whole progression. You won't have to wait until the end. You know, you will be able to tell that it's taking a very aggressive, sticky, toothy edge. So that's what we have right here. Really happy with the way this one came out, and I'm going to be getting some you know, testing footage and all for you guys and for the owner. And then I have this guy. This one has been a serious pain in my ass. This is the Medford Mini Praetorian. This blade is in S45VN, and this is also another troublesome blade grind. These come from the factory with a smile on the edge. Let's see. You can see that down at the plunge grind, how it comes to a smile. That is actually how they come from the factory. Look these up. You'll see on the pictures from the dealers, the factory edge has a smile right there. And the owner of this knife actually, you know, attempted to sharpen it themselves. Started getting the edge bevels uneven. The edge bevel was much larger on one side than the other, and he got a little bit nervous because this is an expensive knife, so don't blame him there. And he hit me up and asked if I could get it all straightened out for him, and I was able to do so. But the you know, the smile and making all that look as good as possible, that was not the tricky part with this one. I mean, it did take some time to get the edge bevels evened out and everything, get the profile straightened out. But the main problem with this is it did not want to get very sharp. I don't know what the deal is, if it was something with the heat treat or if it's the steel itself. You know, I haven't sharpened a ton of S45VN, but I've never heard anything bad about it. So, you know, I was a little bit worried throughout the entire progression, because I always feel the edge throughout the progression. I'm feeling for a burr, I'm feeling the edge, and it just never, throughout the whole progression, even at lower grits, it never felt aggressive and really, you know, sticky sharp. So that had me a little bit concerned, and I took you through the entire progression to a nice polished edge. Then I went to tested on the best tester, came in high 70s, like 78, 79. Then I went to the phone book paper cutting test, and it was really hesitant when it was biting into the, you know, initiating the cut. It wasn't just, you know, going straight cleanly into it, and it was getting caught up a lot, and that was really confusing to me and concerning. So I did a little bit more on the basswood strops with gunny juice. I tried going back to a higher grit gunny juice to see if I could pick up some of that aggression. Maybe there was some burr left, something that I missed, and I was able to get it to cut a little bit cleaner. But on the best tester, the sharpness actually went down, so it went to a 100 gram best, and it just wasn't cutting it. I wasn't really happy with it, so put it back in the clamp and did the entire sharpening start to finish all over again, which obviously went a lot quicker and easier because I didn't have to do the massive reprofiling. That was already done, and I got it to come up to where I feel it is a lot sharper now. So maybe it had some fatigue steel, overheated steel at the edge that I had to grind through. Not really sure what was going on, but I'm gonna rebest test this and you know, do some phone book paper cutting. Hopefully it'll whittle some hair and stuff like that. Make sure this edge is performing up to my standards before it goes back to its owner. So that's the same thing I do with every knife that's sent for sharpening. If it does not meet my standards, which are very high, then I don't send it out. You know, as simple as that. If I was sending my knife to somebody and paying good money for them to sharpen it, I would be expecting to get a knife that was very impressively sharp and very well done. But that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thank you all for watching. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.